Hi guys, my name is Alex. I'm the owner of Culver's Painting in Milwaukee. We've been around since 2009, have grown our business to about a $4 million per year company. We've dealt with a lot of obstacles along the way, done a bunch of trial and error, have really seen the path to success through learning just on our own. And basically what we're doing now is we've launched a business to help other painting business owners, whether you're just starting out or maybe looking to grow to the next level. We're adding a bunch of services and our expertise to help you guys out. I'll be doing a series of YouTube videos on various topics that I know affect all small business owners that are painters. Today we're going to discuss Angi, the pros, the cons, how it's worked out for us over the last, I think we've used it probably the last 10 years, how it's changed, and, really how to take it, if you are going to use it, really how to take advantage of it in the best way. Also, if you look in the link in the description and down below, we do offer many services to help painting business owners, which we'll get into in a little bit. But yeah, let's first get into the topic at hand, Angi. So Angi's been around for a while now. It's kind of gone through a metamorphosis over the past few years. But basically what it is you'll see the site here. They advertise heavily on Google. They have high SEO. And they basically are a search engine for people looking for, whether it's painters, landscapers, plumbers, etc. And then you plug in your information here, and then what happens is they send the lead information to a group of painters who are signed up with them. Now, right off the bat, you can tell there's some disadvantages. You don't get exclusivity. Angi's going to send the lead to 3 or 4 different painters, not just you. So what ends up happening is the person who contacts the customer first, meaning the fastest speed to lead, is going to have the most success with Angi. That's because if you're first to call, they're still in a good mood, still excited. Oh, this worked. A painter called me. And you're going to have a higher chance of actually setting the estimate. Whereas if you wait a day and you're the fourth painter to call them, by then they're exhausted. Painters have kept calling them. They've already got 3 estimates set. They don't want another. So you're at a huge disadvantage unless you have fast speed to lead. And by the way, one of the services our business painter partner offers is a speed to lead and answering service. So, whether it's a phone call coming in or a lead coming in through email like Angi, we will call them within the first 30 seconds to get that lead set into your calendar for you. And I'll show you kind of what it looks like. This is the email that comes in when you get the lead. And keep in mind there is Angi Ads and there's Angi Leads. It's very confusing. Angi Leads is what used to be Home Advisor, which I bought out. Angi Ads is more of the monthly service. So we subscribe to both. This is an Angi Ad lead. So, you basically set your monthly budget and they tell you how many leads you're going to get based on that budget for your area. So this is how it comes in. And then once you drill into it, this is kind of what you get. And this is actually a pretty solid lead here. Looks like a full house exterior. And you get the phone number, email. And like I said, the most important thing with Angi is you have to call right away. Email, you could do that too, obviously. It's not as effective as calling, but you want to get that estimate set. Otherwise, as each minute passes, your percentage chance of booking the job or booking the estimate even go down. So like I said, the big disadvantage is this is getting sent out to 3 or 4 painters, and odds are the customer is probably going to be getting at least 2 or 3 estimates. So you have to be cognizant of that when you go into the actual estimate. Another disadvantage of Angi is it's the quality of leads. Like this one's an actually good one, but let me scroll through here. You can see all these places that say contacted. These are leads we've been trying to reach out to, and we call right away, speed to lead, like I said. but we can't reach. So there's a myriad of reasons that's happening. One, it's kind of a fake or BS lead from Angi, which is known to happen. And that's kind of the stigma they're facing right now. Two, it's a recycled lead from like months ago, and they're pushing it through the system again, and we're trying to call and can't reach them. Three, maybe, we're fast, we call right away. And if you use our answering service, we will call right away. But a lot of other painting contractors call too late and they miss out on this. And then you can see like this one's scheduled. We actually got these just came in today, so it's a Sunday. We haven't reached out to them yet. But you can see you really have to have an iron stomach, because I would say for every lead that comes in, we actually can reach one out of every two people. So 50% of the people we're actually reaching on the phone. And then I would say about 50% of those we qualify and actually set the estimate. And then, if our win rate's 30%, you can see you're not winning too many jobs from this. And this also is if you have fast speed to lead. If you're stuck on a ladder or driving around all day and you can't call right away, I would not use Angi. You're not going to get the results that you should. You should use a service like ours where lead comes in and on your behalf we call right away, and we follow up 4 times too over the course of the week to see if we can get that lead set into your calendar. Now the good thing about Angi is you are able to set your parameters. So if I only want to service X, Y, and Z city, I can do that. If I only want to do interior small jobs, I can do that. If I only want big full exteriors, I can do that. And then the other big benefit is this is Angi ads. Like I said, this is monthly, so you're paying a monthly fee. But Angi, I'll kind of pull it up here, Angi Leads, and like I said, it's really confusing since they've done the rebranding, and this is kind of what it looks like. This one you pay per lead, not per month. So this one you really have to be on your game on, and sometimes they charge an outrageous fee. Like this lead cost $160 for one lead, and you can see it looks like it's looks like it's a decent lead. But so like we did set this appointment, these 3 we couldn't reach, and if you're spending $180 and can't even reach the person, it gets to be very frustrating. Now they do have a credit request lead credit, which we did on this one and we were approved, so we got our money back. But this is a very tedious process, and it's very I would say 1 out of every 3 we actually get back. So you really have to have an iron stomach for this stuff. And that's why a lot of people stop using Angi. They just get so frustrated with it, they don't have time to deal with it. I will say, our numbers are pretty consistent, though. If you stay on it and you have the speed to lead, where you're always the first one calling, our ROI is probably about 10. So for every dollar we're spending, we're getting $10 back, which is pretty solid in the industry. And I think I showed you all those people we couldn't call before. Well, there was one estimate we landed and we booked the job. It was like a $30,000 job. So that pays for 3 or 4 months of this just by itself. So my advice to everybody is if you have an administrative person, like an office person, or you yourself can answer the phones or get on the phone immediately every time a lead comes in, then I think you should try Angi. If not, you need to have a service like us that can set the lead for you immediately. Otherwise, I don't think it's really worth it. The other thing we found kind of some little tips and tricks that we use that were successful for us is some of the smaller cities, like the satellite cities that not a lot of painters are in. If you set your parameters to only those cities, those seem to book more because those are usually more legitimate leads and they have less options. Also, if you're in an area that has seasonality, like we're up in Wisconsin, so we definitely do for exterior painting. If you stick with it and you do it more in the late fall when most of the other painters are full or not answering their phone, it can definitely have better results later in the season. So yeah, kind of the other thing I wanted to mention too is if you're a brand new business, you don't have that repeat referral business yet. Angi might be a good place to start just to get a few jobs under your belt. I mean, number one, you're probably not going to be busy, so you can answer the phone right away or make a call right away when the lead comes in. But then if you win a few jobs, that's important because you want to start getting the word of mouth, the referrals, the repeat business. Also, you want to start getting those Google reviews, which is very important for your website. And by the way, if you look in the link below, we do build websites too for painters. Really cheap price, 99 bucks a month, no other fees. Um, but you can get those reviews under your belt. Angi actually has their own review platform. So if you have more reviews in the Angi platform, you're more likely to get recommended to clients. So keep that in mind. So, I see a ton of videos about people bashing on Angi from all different types of contractors. And I would say I can see the frustration, especially if you're a solo operator with no help and you're late to call the leads, you're losing the leads, you're not getting the credit from them or they're bad leads. I can see why it fires you up. But if you follow these best practices, like I've said, or, you know, hire somebody like us to do this for you, you can achieve pretty good results from Angi. So yeah, guys, once again, appreciate it. This is our first video for painterpartner.com. I'll probably send out one per week. I'd also love to get some painters on here to talk shop, talk about their business, and give some helpful hints on what we did to grow to a $4.5 million company. I love sharing the success with other people and seeing other people grow their business. So yeah, if anybody wants to come on and a 30-minute video on YouTube, we can talk about anything, whether it's business or employees, marketing, we've done it all. So really appreciate it, guys. If you want to keep seeing these videos, just remember to subscribe and hit the bell down below. And then also remember to check out the links for some of the services we offer that have been proven by us, and we're happy to help other painting businesses out. Thank you. On Sunday night, which I've noticed Angi does that sometimes, and the odds of these being legit definitely go down. Like I said, I think sometimes they recycle leads. And Sunday's the only day we don't call immediately. I don't want to call people on a Sunday night, but when we come back in the office Monday morning, we do call. So let's just go through these and I'll show you how this goes. So remember, these were all sent to me via email. So I log in, I get the customer contact information, and obviously you want to call right away. So let's just see how this goes. I'm going to use my cell phone to call instead of my computer this time. Put it on speakerphone. Well, not a great start. They hung up right away on me. So I'm going to mark this as contacted, and what I'll do is I'll put them in our pipeline to text and email. So we'll go on to the next one now. Not looking great.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Please try your call again later. Goodbye.
Well, strike two, I can't even leave them a voicemail. So once again, I will put them in the pipeline. I will text them our link to schedule online, and I'll also email them as well. So move on to the next one.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hi Tina, my name is Alex. I'm one of the owners of Culver's Painting. You had reached out on Angie for some help with some painting in your basement. I was just calling to get a little more information from you and set up an estimate appointment. If you can give us a call back at 262-724-6837, that would be great. Or if you prefer, you can book your estimate slot online at culverspainting.com. Once again, Alex with Culver's Painting, 262-724-6837 or culverspainting.com. Thank you, Tina. So at least I got a voicemail there. See if she calls back. And I always leave that message to book online. It saves everybody so much time. That's why I really highly recommend you get the online scheduler on your website, which we offer that as well as one of our services to get you set up with that. It really is a huge time saver, and people can book, any time of the day. All right, so that's 2.5 strikes, and we'll continue to text her and email her up to 4 times to try to get this set. But now let's move on to the next one. And I can already tell it's a bad sign with a strange area code I've never seen before. Definitely not a local area code. But let's give it a shot. I'd be shocked if somebody answered the phone. And keep in mind, this is Angi Ads, where we're paying a monthly fee. So it doesn't sting quite as bad as when you're paying $150 per lead. But still, it probably averages out to about $50 or $60 per lead. And so far, we're over 4, it looks like. I'm going to give up on that one. And let's move on to the last one. Alright, looks like a legit phone number. It's local to our area. Let's see here.
Hi, you've reached Maria. I can't answer my phone right now. Leave me a message and I'll get back to you. Thanks.
Hi Maria, this is Alex with Culver's Painting. You had reached out on Angie for some help painting the interior of your garage. Just calling to discuss that with you and potentially set up a free estimate. If you could please give me a call back at 262-724-6837, that would be great. Or you can book your estimate online at culverspainting.com. Once again, Alex with Culver's Painting, 262-724-6837 or culverspainting.com. Thanks, Maria. Have a good day. So that one seemed like an actual legit person. The name matched up, a local number. So but once again, we couldn't reach them. That's why the speed to lead is very important. Um, and I would say maybe out of all 5 of these, maybe one of these we're going to end up setting, because I think 3 were fake, 2 were potential maybes. So, yeah, not a great sign. Honestly, when you get Angi leads over the weekend, I feel like they're a lot worse. They do some shady stuff or whatever. The weekday leads seem to be better. So now imagine if you had paid 150 for each of these, you just lost $750. So that's why people hate Angi pretty often. But it's a numbers game. You have to have the iron stomach, like I said. We'll follow up with each of these people 4 more times at least over the course of the next week. That's also part of our service if you wanted to check the link down below. Um, and but yeah, that's kind of how Angi works. So probably not the greatest example. I would say normally out of these 5, we'd probably set at least 2, but definitely some pretty low quality leads right now.